Greetings to all the viewers and listeners. Welcome to the third official episode of IILMnary Talks. Today I have with me Ms Jyotsna Mohan Bhargava, and ma'am, I understand that when we Google your name, a lot of books, a lot of news articles, a lot of things come up. But what I truly want to understand right now is when you're a woman and you've seen success in your life. When I Google your name, that's what I see. So you've seen success. How proud do you feel of yourself, and do you think pride has played a role in your success and your confidence?
Oh no, I think proud and pride are two different things. I'm immensely proud of what I have achieved twice over. Once when I started young, and then when I took a break and a sabbatical and I started again, and where journalism dipped. So to make my space back in, find a space for myself. So yeah, I am immensely proud. I don't have pride, which is why I think if you don't have pride, you can move faster, and you can have better experiences in life. So I'm quite I'm all right. I'm in a good space. I'm not going to say it couldn't be better. It can always be better, but I'm a person who's extremely satisfied with what I do, because I'm only answerable to myself. And if I think I'm all right, and I don't sit crying or moping either. If I feel like, oh my God, I need that, I deserve that, of course I want better journalism days, I want better television news. We'd all love it. This was what we did. But if it's not there, I'm not going to sit and cry over it. Then I'm just going to say, okay, let's think, what can I do next? So yeah, that's the ability to keep evolving.
Okay, I mean, that's a very humble answer, and this is what brings me to think that I've always seen journalism as a very fierce career path, and I'm sure you must have covered several high profile cases throughout the decades, right? So how do you maintain that calm, at the same time keep that fierce look, so that you do not get intimidated by the ones in power?
Yeah, I mean, don't go by the humility in terms of, yes, I stick to humility personally. Professionally, I am as ambitious as anybody else. But like I said, I'm only answerable to myself. If I've done a job, if it's a job well done, then that's how it is. I can keep crying about what somebody is doing, but I always tell my mom that I'm extremely proud of one thing, that I've never brought down anybody professionally or personally. For me to move up the ladder, I didn't have to pull anybody else down. I would say that this is what I deserve, and I've asked for it, and I still stick to it. I think it was only once that I went up to the one boss and I said, look, this was not right, that I was sidestepped. Only once in my entire career. And I remember being, and the response was, why didn't you come to us earlier? Because I don't do it. And I must have really been pushed at that point to have done it. But the fight has always been with myself, and whether it is on who I am or what my work is.
That makes a lot of sense. Ma'am, you wrote a book in 2020 and that was Stoned, Shamed and Depressed. And you talked about the Gen Z, and today in your address also you mentioned how Gen Z cope up with things differently than your generation. My question here is, there's a lot of stigma around Gen Z in the corporate world. So we adapt to industry standards very differently. So do you think we are better workers than your generation, or do you think we lack some sort of discipline or that quest for working hard?
You lack ambition.
We lack ambition.
Your generation lacks ambition. No, you are not better workers than us at all. We are very, very hardworking generation. We are a very hardworking, extra hardworking, and perhaps that gives people which is why it's the work-life balance debate did start. It started from us. But as I said earlier, you cannot have a work-life balance debate unless you work. You cannot sit at home and say, "Mujhe ye chahiye." पहले आप show up तो करिए. थोड़ा show us what you have to be part of this debate. No, we are very, very hard workers. Because you do it differently does not mean it's better. I think there are a lot of loopholes in your thinking when it comes to work. I think your generation is a little bit easygoing and does not believe in anything that keeps them rooted. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but the fact that you don't need a job, permanency of home, permanency of even learning how to drive a car, because you can always Uber it. But we learnt all the skills, and that's where you will miss out, because you all are not imbibing life skills, because your generation is imbibing everything through social media. So even your work debate is coming from social media, isn't it? It's not being practiced outside. So there's a real world outside which I think your generation is finding a bit tough to fit in, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Ma'am, I personally believe that you started your speech with the fact that you've not prepared anything.
Yeah.
You're just going to go with the flow. I think that's what my generation is about. I think when I speak for myself at least, and the people who are here in the team with me. I think we have a sense of leniency in that matter, that okay, we can just go with the flow. We'll see what comes in our way. But I understand why discipline must be important to go up the corporate ladder and be better.
You are competing against thousands and thousands of
Right.
other candidates. How do you think that you will go with the flow and somebody else has come with one degree after another degree after another degree and one CV against the CV? If you're okay with it, then that's fine. But as I also said, your parents have invested money in it. They have invested resources, some of them really hard-earned money. So you have to justify it. I'm not saying if they want you to be an engineer, you don't want to be an engineer, please don't be an engineer. Please don't be in that whole Indian society mentality कि doctor ही बनना है या engineer ही बनना है. बहुत other options have opened up, but give it your all. Turn up, show up. There are times you can't come up when you want to, you can't leave when you want to. That does not, it's not how a profession works, any profession, So that I think is the difference. But yes, I mean, my acceptance is that it's not the be-all and end-all to be a doctor and an engineer, and I've always said that. I've always said marks don't define a person. One bad day in the office, one bad score does not define a person. But everybody has been gifted something. Please don't throw it away. Please channelize it to the best of your ability.
I think you've left all of us with a food for thought. Ma'am, this brings me to the last thing that I want to ask you. Let's take a hypothetical situation and imagine that you're in a place where you are surrounded by people you've met your entire life, the countries that you've visited, the places you've been to, the people you've reported about, to, from, on, everything, everyone is there. And you have one message that you would want to share with the world as Jyotsna. What would that one message be?
I actually have always say very simple. You do you and be true to yourself. The moment you're true to yourself, nothing else can come in your way. I'm not saying this as jargon. I'm not saying this as this whole toxic positivity rubbish. I don't believe. I think we've also gone too extreme in this whole positivity funda that's happening, and I think we need to rein back and be a bit more realistic. But I'm very true to myself. I don't compromise. I don't compromise in my speech. I don't compromise in my work or my ethics, and I'm ambitious enough to take everything together. So I would really say that, the moment you're true to yourself, you're true to everything else, yeah. It just falls.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us our fastest and the quickest.
I wanted to say, please, I'm going to plug this shamelessly because it's a book and books should be plugged shamelessly because we put in a lot of effort for people and it's just worth one coffee money. So go buy Pratap or Defiant newspaper, available on Amazon. If you pick it up from Amazon, I'd really love it that you leave us a review. I mean, please reconfirm my thoughts in this generation that you all read and you all write. And the other book is Stone Shame Depressed, also about your generation, available on Amazon. So guys, go.
So ma'am, if I purchase it right now, will I get a signed copy?
You will.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was lovely. Truly an honor to speak
All
to
right.
you.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much.